So much for an elite defense for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who fell 41-40 to the Texas A&M Aggies on Saturday in disgusting fashion. Let's talk about this defense under Chris Ash and what the heck we just watched. Ryan Roberts from A to Z Sports, breaking down everything Notre Dame football. And folks, I don't like breaking down this type of stuff. What a absolutely humiliating 41-40 loss where they were able to let up the last touchdown to the Aggies with only 13 seconds on the clock, 41-40. Those 41 points were about as frustrating of a watch as a Notre Dame fan as I have had in several years. Following the game, I've seen this now from several fans on Twitter, different social medias, calling Coach Chris Ash, the new defensive coordinator for Notre Dame, Brian Van Gorder 2.0. And if you ever are of Notre Dame fandom, you know that is not a sign of respect. Brian Van Gorder left a lot of hollow feelings to the defensive side of the football for several years and a lot of pessimism in the defensive football for Notre Dame, which was reversed with a great string of Mike Elko and Clark Lee and Marcus Freeman and Al Golden. And we are back here. And I just want to break down my thoughts of this defensive performance because all offseason, we were fed this line. This was the line we were fed. That Chris Ash, and directly from the man's lips, this isn't Chris Ash's defense. This was Notre Dame's defense. Well, the Notre Dame defense that I have gotten to know over the last couple years is built off of two core competencies. One, a lot of man coverage on the back end. Two, ton of aggressiveness from the second level. Not afraid to blitz in certain spots, but more than anything, you know that they are going to be the aggressor when the chips are down on the table, when they need a big play. That's what Coach Golden had created each of the last 2 years for Notre Dame, and a arguably elite defense each of the last 2 years, especially in the back ends. Well, this defense, one, not overly aggressive on any level. Didn't see a lot of movement up front. Didn't see a lot of movement on the second level. The lack of man coverage on the back end for a secondary that has, on paper, great talents. You talk about Leonard Moore, Christian Gray, Adon Schuler, who left early in this football game due to targeting. I don't understand the ideology. This was a defense that looked poorly prepared. This was a defense that looked like they lacked communication and they lacked confidence. We know that this defense played fast each of the last 2 years in the majority of football games. This defense did not look fast tonight. And what is the non-common denominator from each of the last 2 years? It's a new defensive coordinator. This defense looks like they're thinking so much. They are moving slow because they are processing at a much lower speed than we have seen in the past under Coach Golden. I am just befuddled looking at this performance. And the worst parts, and I don't know if Notre Dame fans, and please put in the comments if you felt this, when Notre Dame missed the extra points off of the botch snap, Tyler Buckner tried to roll out. When they didn't get the extra point to make it 40-34, at no point when Texas A&M got the ball back, no matter what part of the field they were at, did I think, even after Terry Bussey's kickoff return for a touchdown was called back, at no point did I think Notre Dame's going to get a big stop here. I had my article written about Coach Ash before the final whistle blew, before that final touchdown happens, because I knew what was going to happen. I feel like everyone felt it. I don't think anybody thought, nope, they're going to get a big step. Even when it was fourth down and Marcel Reed had to throw the ball up to the tight end in the end zone, I don't think anybody thought Notre Dame was going to get a stop here. And that is a feeling that Notre Dame fans have had in the past. I mentioned Brian Van Gorder earlier. But we'd never want to have it again. And we haven't had it in the last 2 years. In prime time, in big moments, you felt like Notre Dame was going to make a play. Even if they always didn't, you still felt it. There was confidence that was reborn in this defense, and that confidence was killed tonight. So I want to give you all an opportunity. Put in the chat. I'm frustrated. I hope you all are frustrated. Put your frustrations in the chat. It's totally fine. I'm not going to go as far as say fire Chris Ash, because I value my job, so I wouldn't want anybody going on Twitter and on YouTube and saying, fire Ryan Roberts. So I'm not going to call for a man's job. But it was a poor job. And through 2 games, including the Miami game, it has been a very poor job. So put in the comments your biggest frustrations. If you think that this can be fixed, put your just general thoughts. We'd love to hear from you all. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe as well on the content. And as always, even after disappointments like tonight, go Irish.